Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 232. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mello, and today I'm delving into something that's pretty cool. I'm thankful that my writing journey started late, because sometimes when I'm in self-reflection, I tend to think to myself, damn, I wish my writing journey started sooner. And then when I come back to reality, I know it was better that my writing journey started in my 30s, and that was for the best. And I'm thankful that I'm on the journey now because I definitely have more mental focus. Because honestly, in my 20s, I didn't have the drive and determination to be great. I was still learning about myself, who I am, and my life journey. I was busy trying to make it in sports, not realizing that my writing was supposed to be my staple, and it was really what I was meant to be doing with my life. The funny thing is, God was like, oh, okay, so you don't want to do this writing gift that I gave you since the age of 13. So I'm going to let you think that you're gonna make it in sports. And it was trying to be a sports broadcaster or a sports analyst. And then I tried to make it in the whole operations standpoint. I worked in retail also. And then I became a basketball referee, I would say in my mid-20s. And I did it until my early 30s. So I would say I refereed basketball from 25 till 32. 32, yeah, about 32, 33 years old. And I was trying to really become a basketball referee. And then I finally got certified. I was, starting to take it way more seriously. And by the time I did that, my body was just like, nope, can't do it no more. My knees were tired, my back, the wear and tear of, me playing sports the majority of my life and, running up and down basketball courts, whether they were outdoor, indoor. Most of it was indoor. But when I got certified, I had to start doing outdoor stuff, and that took a toll on my knees. I've had plenty of knee injuries. I had a bad one when I was 15 and on my right knee, and then I had a bad one with my left knee in my later 20s. So when I was in my early 30s, that's when I dug deep and worked on figuring out my purpose in life. And when I started writing my books, I had the right mindset. I had a better grasp and understanding of the world, which allowed me to create and write all of the books that I have to date. And that's when I figured out all of my talents and gifts that I needed to share with the world. To be honest, there's just no way I would have been able to have a writing platform, podcasts, websites, blogs, and a clothing line in my 20s. I wasn't in the right state of mind to do all of it. My mind wasn't ready for all that I'm doing currently. And there's always a silver lining to everything, and I count my blessings that I'm doing all of this now. Because I'll admit, in my 20s, not only was I trying to make it in sports, but I was having the time of my life. I was having fun. I was doing what everyone said in the world. Live life, be free, live vicariously through having fun. And that's what I did. I'm not gonna say lie. I clubbed, I partied, I drank. I didn't do it all the time, but I did do it a good amount. And I spent my birthdays drinking and, doing different things, and had my share of friends, had my cliques, and, doing all the things that at the end of the day, I really didn't need to be doing it. Needed to be really focused on what God really wanted me to do. But he gave me time. He gave me grace. And I'm very thankful for that. And now that I look at the world has become full of content and stories that I can write from various perspectives. And down the road, I surely will be able to come back to, this podcast and say, I did it. I created my own path. It happened at the right time. It happened at the right age. So for me to start writing, books at age 32, by the time I was about, I'd say 35, 36, that's when the podcast came along. And, the clothing line came at 37, which I really don't do a lot of work on because I'm so focused on, writing, the books and, creating, great podcasts. What I'm trying to say is that when you go on your journey through life, sometimes we don't really figure out or know what our purpose is early on in our lives. And that's perfectly fine. That's okay. And sometimes you'll figure out your one purpose now, and then you'll finish that, and then it's on to the next thing that you're supposed to be doing while you are here. So a lot of young people feel that they have to have it all figured out in their early 20s. It's like this golden age of like 25 or once you hit 30. When I was young, I used to think that by the time I was 30, I'd be married. I'd have, one child or two or whatever it is. Not even knowing or realizing that within like the first week of me starting college in 2001, that 9/11 would literally change the whole landscape of this world. And I'm not going to sit here and delve into the events and, all the things that we have come to find out. But 9/11 literally changed the whole landscape of the world. And we're still being affected to this day. We're still affected by it 20 plus years later. When you're 18 and you're in college, you're away from everybody, and it's just like, yeah, I get to make my own decisions and do my own thing, and all that stuff. I was young, and I guess maybe I would say naive to what was coming. But I will say that I am way more stable now, and I count my blessings. And that's why I'm thankful that my writing journey did start later. My mind had to develop. I had to see the world from a different perspective. I had to open my eyes to a lot of the atrocities that are going on. And I've always been concerned about what's going on in the world, but the only thing was I didn't have a full understanding of this matrix that we live in. So if you're listening to this, don't feel obligated at whatever age you are to have it all figured out. We're all figuring it out one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. So for me to have started writing books at age 32, for me to have walked away from a potential career in being a basketball referee, to really live my life and to live my purpose, I'm thankful. I'm blessed. And I don't take any of that for granted. So I want you guys to know that you may figure out your purpose in your 50s, your 40s, whatever age it is. But when you do figure it out, give it your all. Have purpose and passion. And live by the 4 Ds: dream, drive, determination, dedication. And if you want to add another D to it, discipline. I love my journey. I'm thankful that I'm on it now. And sometimes we need to experience life and allow our minds to develop to get ourselves to the place where we can give our all to what our purpose is in life. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And with that said, that's my podcast for today. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good week. Feel free to subscribe to the podcast. I'm all over the place. Feel free to listen to my podcast on the aquarianmindpodcast.com. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.